Hearing none, I'm going to move on to the voluntary public roll call for the Zoom. If you're on the internet, you want to let us know you're here. Now's the time.
This is Amanda with the Roseman News.
Hi, Amanda.
I was like, what is going on?
Welcome. It's nice to hear your voice.
Hey, thank you.
With a little echo change with the lights that happened. Well, it was open. What's it called? Moving on to consent calendar CC1 is the new consent voucher registered dated February 4th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar CC1? Motion was made, no rest of you ready, I'm just going down second. You need to start this. No, you didn't. We were over there. Second, Director Webb, and any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Minutes, M1 through M7, the ad hoc meeting, the water committee meeting, the ad hoc water conservation special board meeting, finance, sewer, and regular board meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve M1 through M7? Motion was made by Vice President Washington. Do I have a second? Second by Director Wood. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We have 1 through 7. You just have 2 items. New business. NB1. Approval of engagement letter with Rogers Anderson's Maloney and Scott LLP for audit services for the fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2025, 2026, and 2027. Presenter.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the current engagement with RAMS ended this last fiscal year, June 30th, 2024. The RAMS has been the auditor for the district for 10 years and has institutional knowledge of the operations, has proposed an extremely competitive and fixed 3% increase over each of the next 3 years. And this statement actually comes from the finance director. Given the current industry climate, coupled with the extraordinary level of service provided by RAMS, staff believes this to be the district's best option for audit services in lieu of an RFP process. Recommendation is to approve and authorize the general manager to submit it.
Do I have a motion to approve NB1?
I have a motion to approve.
Motion made by Director Webb. Do I have a second? Second was made by Director Wood.
Yeah, I have a question that was wrong with this president.
Yes, what was the discussion? Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. You said how many years have we had them?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. Here's the question I have for you. And correct me if I need to be. We go to the conferences and we take all these different seminars. And one of the seminars they had said that with certain entities that you work with, that you should periodically change up. And I'm looking at a 10-year window, which probably, and again, I'm sure that the recommendation from the finance department is strong and important, but I would ask that perhaps next year, but I'm looking at a different company, because even though that 10 years, and I'm going to challenge to have never found anything wrong with what does and doesn't go on, but when you look at kind of the industry practices, again, this was at a conference I was at, they said you should always look at things that you've been doing and perhaps change them up. Now, like I said, maybe that's not applicable to something like this, but maybe that you could have your staff research that and see what they can do, how the industry standards are that, and bring it back to the board.
Sure, and then, so you would not want then to approve this action tonight then, because if you do, then we're engaging for the next 3 years. So if you're considering going to RFP, that's certainly a prerogative in general. You know, it's in order to keep two things. In order to keep your current consultants not as comfortable, I guess, with lack of better, their pricing, to be honest. And the other reason would be the second set of lives on something. If that's a concern that the board has, then absolutely, I would recommend you don't do this.
This is a concern, question I had, and maybe it's more of a question about, the other part about it too. If, you come back and tell me or the board, certain things that it's looked that way, but again, we always talk about best practices. And if this would have the same something for 10 years straight, best practices, don't accept that, but like I said, if there's a question that can be looked at it, how pressing is this that it has to be signed tonight?
It's not pressing that it has to be signed tonight. But let me get a little more information from the finance director before we go forward. Mainly because, my understanding is that when they first came aboard 10 years ago, that there were some challenges, and as each year has progressed, that the list of exceptions the exceptions are becoming smaller and smaller. And it might be because we have someone that's actually able to, they've drilled down and past some of the stuff that they know that they've taken care of in the past.
Yes.
So now they're drilling into even more stuff. But let me have a conversation with the finance director. But the finance director says, and again, I took verbatim, his words and the communication he gave me. Look, as far as what we're thinking about pricing is very, very.
What do you think of the price?
Yeah, and if that's a concern, then, I need to share that with our finance director and say, hey, I'm concerned that this is not necessarily, or this, they just want to advise me should doing best practice.
My question is, because we've already made a motion, if we vote right now and we vote no, you're still allowed to bring this back to us in the future.
Well,
information.
I would make that.
Or would you rather have us four motions back and postpone this?
Yeah, you can withdraw the motion.
We would say we would withdraw, we would ask for any objections. If there's no objections, it would be withdrawn.
Or we can vote for it, and if the other four members are fine with it, we move on, right?
Yep.
But my question is then, if you have a majority vote that says no, you're still allowed to bring this back to us for a future agenda item with more information, or is we already voted no not to do this?
You can make a subsequent motion if it ends up being no.
Or do you just withdraw it until next meeting?
I made the second, and I've got a director that has questions or concerns about it, and our general manager has told us that it's not a pressing matter, that I don't have a problem on my second on it, for more consideration.
So we'll postpone it to,
Oh, okay, withdrawn.
there's no,
So the motion is.
I withdraw the motion, for the approval of the, MD number one.
re-agenda. Alright, MD2, approval of sludge storage slab bid document and authorize the advertisements to bid presented from the bingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This project is currently in the capital projects budget as the sludge storage slab, project number 02237, and in very, very generic terms, wastewater staff does not have a place to put accumulated dry sludge because they're utilizing all the beds, because they're active, the beds are, especially during the winter time, they have an issue with adequate storage. That's the reason why we have another project from capital projects was sludge and water. So we have, we're trying to address this in a systematic fashion. First, to install storage slab, so they have some place to put sludge, but also located and designed such that it's located in an optimal location. So when we do the sludge dewatering, which is projected to utilize a screw press, a sludge screw press, so it's already oriented and designed so that it's easy to add the sludge dewatering to this project, so it becomes part of the same system. But this first project is just for the sludge storage slab. I've included a set of plans that are set up for bid. They probably will change slightly because we're looking at some of the over excavation that needs to happen on some of this work. They may change slightly, but I'm asking for approval to advertise so we can get this project done.
No motion to approve the two.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Director White, second. Second by Director Wood. Any discussion? Yeah, I've got some discussion, not so much on the project that we're talking about, but it has to do with the same thing, and that is our current dewatering drawing bid that we have that are soil free. And I understand that there's a problem, we'll bring some of that up. It's getting mixed in with the sludge. How well do those current drying beds that we have decant? Is it decant pretty well, or is it? I know there was a problem with the design to begin with, and maybe needing to build some weirs in there or something to help with the decant process. But I was wondering how the decant is working, and what would be the possibility of maybe in the future, maybe at least putting concrete floors in those drawing beds to make them a little more useful for our needs as well.
Good questions. So yes, there was an issue, and the decant only works to a certain degree. Staff has installed the ability to actually put stop logs in there, basically, to assist some of where the decant valve isn't able to go all the way down low enough to draw up any more of the decant water. The issue that Brian is having right now out there is that there's not adequate sludge storage space for the amount of sludge he needs to be able to waste and run his plant to meet waste discharge requirements. He's meeting them, don't get me wrong. In fact, he obsesses, I shouldn't say obsessive, he's very, very, very extremely careful about how he runs his plant, and but it's very clear that the sludge drying beds it's just not adequate capacity. And so in the wintertime, for example, he ends up, one of them becomes sludge storage, and he really doesn't, he can't get them dry fast enough.
Right.
So that's the reason why we're doing the watering bucket. The intent is to put your capital on that and not put it back into the beds.
Right.
That way, you don't spend that money on all the concrete you're going to need to put into each one of those.
Right. And those beds there, ideally, the sludge should never be more than 24 inches deep.
Right.
It should.
Right. He's got
It can be 6 feet, 8 feet deep.
Unfortunately, that's what has to be
water.
Right. Exactly.
And but do you think the press that we're getting and the water equipment that we're getting is going to help get it to a workable cake?
Yeah. So the system that we're looking at was used as a catastrophe plan. So staff has visited a few times, and the expectation, and I forget what percent solved, but But what they produce there is, you know, you can move it with a loader. You know, it's like pudding, basically. It's like pudding. So you can move it with a loader. So, what will end up happening is that we'll process all the sludge through the sludge press, and then we'll actually use the sludge beds for future storage.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. All right, very good, thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. I'm gonna recuse myself, but we agree?
Okay, NB3, amendment to the lease agreement with Iron Will, Jiu-Jitsu for the 2700 20th Street West, Roseman Building. Presenter is Ken Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This amendment to the lease agreement, extends the rent due payment to March 1st. There was an arrangement, between, the district and, the operators of Iowa Jiu-Jitsu, to exchange rent payments for improvements that they're doing to the building. So, as it says in the staff report, we received documentation that, Iowa Jiu-Jitsu has provided nearly 4 months worth of rent, in improvements, in repairs and improvements, and so therefore, the proposal is to extend the lease payment. They were supposed to start on November 1st, so if we credit the first 4 months in exchange for the improvements, that'll extend the first lease payment being due on March 1st. So the recommendation, and since the lease term, I have to say this, and this needs to be part of your motion, to have a finding that since the lease term is less than 5 years, the action does not meet the definition of disposal of the property is not subject to the surplus.
Okay, motion for NB3.
Motion to
With the
approve,
finding.
motion to approve with the finding
We just need to say the finding.
that it's less than a 5-year lease, that does not meet the definition of disposable property that's subject to the Surplus Land Act.
That's a mouthful.
Motion by Director Webb,
I'll second.
second by Director Wood. Any discussion?
I have a question for the general manager.
Yes, sir.
It says they had documentation of $4,700, which I can believe. My question is, at the end of their lease, is there these things that they can take out of the property, or is it all things that were done to the specific property, or do you think they can take with them?
No, these are what you call, furnishings and cosmetic, furnishing. There's the term for it, there's an architectural term for it. FF&E, they're furnishing fixtures and equipment, these are furnishings, fixtures.
So stay with the building.
Yes.
That's all I have, sir.
Any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass 4-0.
Moving on to the director's reports and future agenda items. I'm gonna start on this side of the room like I always do. Director Barney.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Good, great, good. Want to go future related as well?
Conspiracy down there, conspiracy.
We more. Oh, no.
As long as only 2 you did,
I have a hearing aid down, I have a thing.
Future agenda items, I'll do mine real quick.
Okay.
I would like you to look into, adding the next agenda. I'd like to discuss, switching, community member from their appointment within this minutes, and I just would like to discuss the community segments.
Okay.
And then another thing to add on is, there's an open house at Lancaster's wastewater treatment plant, District 14, and we possibly could be invited to send some staff there to the candidates on Saturday. I'll get some more information over to you, so you can put that on the agenda if that's something that you think you our staff. I know a former director would be really excited to go to this, because he asked me several times, but if there's not a quorum attending, I think that we need to know the contract. Enjoy it. So I'll get some information over you in your due so.
Okay.
That's all I have, Director Washington. Oh, sorry. I said it wrong the first time. You don't get to me. Vice President, Director Washington.
I have nothing tonight.
And Director, what?
Yes, sir. I have a few things. I attended the RMAC meeting, and I would like all of the directors to know that we've been challenged by the RMAC people, as far as they're having an Easter egg hunt, so we've been challenged by them to come and find a particular day for the sponsorship or another. Anyway, probably not in there, so what they did, they challenged us to sponsoring an Easter egg basket for the upcoming Easter egg hunt. So I didn't volunteer any of you guys' money. I told them that we would consider it, but no money's been volunteered, but they did ask us. That's part one. The Easter egg hunt is going to be March 30th, 2025, and it'll be at West Park Elementary on the field out there, and I have a flyer for it. That's number one. Mr. GM, the Chamber of Commerce asked us, we reconsider being a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like for you to put that on the agenda for our next governmental affairs, so we can look at the practicality of it. Maybe there's ways we can support the community that way or other ways, but that's something we can consider. Red Cross was there, and they gave out several forms as far as flood safety, earthquake, what you should have your emergency protective kit, and fire preparedness. So he gave out several different items there, and if anyone would like to make a copy of them, you're more than welcome. And then the last thing I had from them is that on April 1st, they're going to have a Hot Topics comedy show at the community center and at the Chamber of Commerce theater there. And there's probably 6 comedians out there, and they have ticket prices here that's available if anyone would like to look at it. And also, they have the field representative for our community from the Congressman Lon's office. I have his business card. If anyone would love to get in touch with him, I can make that available to you. And with that said, since no one else has anything else to say, I'll be done. Thank you.
I wanted to come back to me, we're going to have a report, but I did want to ask that the 2 agenda items for discussion, to be please having on the consent agenda.
Absolutely right. Just for the board's knowledge, I reached out to Director Wood via email separately, apologizing for not having those on the agenda this time around.
Okay, I didn't even see it.
I sent you a Roseman email.
Oh, I haven't got my,
Oh,
I haven't got
I shouldn't have sent it to Bill, but I did apologize. I'll forward it to you so you have an official apology.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be agendized. Then I told you, it'll be agendized next week.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't got a lot to look at that.
Okay, General Counsel John Gilmore is not here. General Manager update, Leo.
What have I done? So 3 items. One, the arsenic I reported last time that the arsenic the bids were open, and that action would come to this meeting. That did not happen because, I'm waiting for the state to approve the budget. So that, realistically, it may not happen until, the second meeting in March. So I'm hoping it happens then, because I would be gone with, first meeting in April, so. That's the update on arsenic consolidation phase one. The second update was related to Chiquita Canyon. I sent an email to each of you individually about, trying to firm up a date to go. And I think I received responses from 2 individuals. But, you could please, or can you confirm that you can make an April, that it'd be a long day? I'll just be straight up, it's gonna be a long day. We're gonna head over to Chiquita Canyon first, get a whiff there, and then head over to Mecca, which is over by the Salton Sea, and then we'll get a whiff there, and then we'll head on back. So, I don't know, if we can get all of you to go, that'd be great. I'm working on getting, someone from either new supervisor, or someone from their staff. Because Karen Sanders, who is actually part of the staff, actually went last time. And then also from somebody from, Kern County Public Works, to actually go as well. So, I don't know, Mr. President, can I poll the board to see if we can do, February 19th?
Sure.
Excuse me, March 19th?
I think Sherry has my numbers. No problems.
Was that?
I sent a rude response to Shannon that he asked if it was okay. And it came off rude, and I later on like, no, I should that. Feel free.
Okay, cool.
And March 19th.
March 19th.
We're meeting at 19th is not good.
Okay.
Well, that's a beautiful HDT, okay.
Oh,
we're doing that.
yeah,
You're available. I'm not available. You're not available 19th?
or the 18th?
Okay.
Okay.
How do you,
No, that's a bad week, because I think the following week I'm in the conference for a couple of days, and then I'll be traveling with my granddaughter, so that week of the 16th through is a week for me at all.
Okay. I will report back that we're probably not going to do it this coming month. I may
Will we all need to attend, or will we be okay with just a couple board members? You say you have how many? 2 or 3?
2, it sounded like.
Can we discuss our feelings on it just a little bit, or?
Why don't we agendize that for the 12th?
okay, that's a great idea.
Let's agendize it for the 12th to discuss it.
So Byron had something.
Because, I think the kind of reaction that I'm seeing right now, I think it merits a discussion. So, so let's agendize it for the end, if that's okay. Let's see.
I brought, general manager an article in the Allen Valley Press a couple weeks ago that, was focused on that. And I don't know who from Antelope Valley even got involved in it. It was a pretty in-depth article.
I didn't copy of that, I didn't see that in any more.
What was it, about 3 weeks ago, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think about 3 weeks ago. And I don't know who, reporter, dug it up. But, it was pretty good. Or pretty dynamic, I thought.
And then, just a reminder, I am going to be gone April 2nd. I'll keep reminding you, April 2nd through April 17th.
Should we discuss rescheduling,
All agendas it. Rescheduling, you're talking about the first meeting in April? Yes. We'll agendize that.
because I won't be in town the second week of April. My nephew's graduating from the police academy, very excited about that in Florida.
Nice.
so I'll be gone for a couple of days.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Director of Administration?
Thank you, Mr. President. So I just wanted to let the board know that the district had a total of 154 residential services disconnected from non-pay in the entire year of 2024.
Oh, okay. I'm glad for that. That's why I wanted to listen all the way to the end.
I think that's a really telling number, the efforts that the front office makes for our customers. And I was required to look this number up and tabulate it for, Warren's report for the state water resources consultant because the end of the report. I'd also like to report that we had a total of 881 accounts that were charged a late fee penalty this month in the amount of $4,520.06. I'm also very happy to report that we have a tentative go live date for our updated district website, and we're looking at March 22nd. Really excited to have a fresh new look to it, with lots of information, lots of great photos of what's going on in the district, so stay tuned. I'd also like to give a shout out to Larry Long from Public Works. Larry arranged a ride-along for myself and my newest staff member in my office, and gave us a lowdown on what goes on in the Public Works building, and we moved to the SCADA system that does, seeing that in action is really pretty cool. Went out and observed a couple of guys, actually 3 guys. We had Tim, Matt, and Mike doing a repair on my residential neighborhood, and seeing all that's involved in what they do, because we never seen it. They couldn't find the leak right away, so it took them a little bit longer. So they explained it, we just don't know how long it's going to take to do that, and start working, right? They're in love with the truck, it makes their life a lot easier. So that was really pretty cool. We got to observe some sewer cleaning. I was out doing that. Got taken to some wall sites.
On Madison for the sewer thing, they discovered some manholes that had been paved over.
Yeah.
And that was as a result of the camera that they were doing at the time.
But it's very cool seeing the infrastructure. For those of us that haven't seen that before, and we don't do that. So it was just we spent a couple hours just driving to some tanks and the wells and finding out what the guys do and what they're checking and doing the rounds. Very informative, and I'm going to have all of our staff going to learn about our wastewater plant for a tour.
That's great. Gives a new employee that 360-degree panoramic view
100%.
of what RCSD is about,
Yeah.
and not just the 90, what I do.
What I liked the best of was when we went out and we were chatting with the guys that were doing the leak repair, and I was right. They were very excited to show us what they're doing. It's like, wow, you guys are here, kind of, but they were very informative, took the time to say, this is what we're doing, this is, what we've got, and that was very cool.
Awesome.
All right, now the last item I have is that we received email correspondence from LAFCO notifying us of their public hearing for the preliminary fiscal year 2025-26 budget. It's scheduled for consideration by the commission at their March 19th meeting. If anyone's interested, I have a Zoom link that I can provide if you want to listen in on that. And if there's no questions, that's the end of my report.
I had a question. Jerry, did you see the board secretary clerk conference going on for CSBA?
Yeah, I usually attend. I don't know if I ever get attended.
That's going to be in October.
It's quite far, and I might just do every other year. I like it to be a little bit closer. And they're very, very worthwhile to attend, but I think this year I probably would not do that. I did attend this last time. Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else? Public Works update, John Hutton.
He might be on fall. Yeah.
So my
He's on fall. No. Yeah. Are there any questions about the report?
I don't have the let's get that here, so I'll say 9, and time for adjournment, for 26. Thank you, everybody.